Welcome. Today we are going to talk about how we can find academic journals by using the library's website. So today we're going to talk about how we can specifically find articles that cover the topic of speech-language therapy and where we can go to access these articles and how we can save them and make sure we have them to refer back to while working on our assignments. So today we're going to start at maryville.edu/library. So the best place to start is always going to be the library's homepage. This will become your best friend while you are researching. And there's a lot of different places we can search. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start at full search. So this search bar right here is going to be our discovery search bar. That basically means that it functions just like Google. You can type whatever you want in here and something's going to happen. You're going to get a lot of results, and it's going to be a variety of things from a variety of places. So the best thing you can do is be on full search and then come down here and go directly to advanced search. So from here, we can type in different keywords, and it gives us a lot of other things we can kind of play around with. So that's why I like to start on advanced search, because I think that makes it a little easier to manipulate the search right off the bat if we know we're looking for something specific. So today I am going to search speech language therapy, and then I'm also going to do autism. So I did speech language therapy in quotations because I wanted it to search as a full phrase. If you don't do the quotations, it might do speech or language or therapy, and there are lots of different kinds of therapy in the world. So I want to make sure that it's looking specifically for speech language therapy. So that's why I do the quotations. And I'm going to do autism down here in my second line. So now my search is going to do speech language therapy and autism. So it's going to bring up any result that mentions both of those phrases, not just one or the other. So I am actually going to come up here because it thinks I'm a guest right now, and I'm going to log in. That way I have full access to everything that the library can offer me. And I can then access everything that's going to talk about speech language therapy and autism. At our search results here, we have almost 6,000 results. So that's pretty good. So what we typed in here is pretty specific. So I didn't expect our number to be in the millions like you sometimes see if you search something really general. So the more specific you get, the smaller this number will be, but the more specific your results will be. So it all kind of ties together really nicely. So we're just going to scroll down so we can get a good idea of the results we have. Every time our keywords pop up in a result, they will be in bold. So here we have our speech language therapy and autism, both in bold. Another great trick is to look at the subject line. So right here under our citation information, we have this subjects line. So this is going to be the official subjects for this article. So this is also a really good way to see what is this article going to cover before we even click on the title and read an abstract. So we know that this is going to be speech therapy, autism, developmental disorders, parental attitudes, intervention, parent participation. So this is going to be about helping educate parents on how they can help their children with autism and speech language therapy. So if you're interested in parent participation or parent attitudes, this would be a great article for you. We can keep scrolling down and we can see the same thing. So sometimes one of your keywords will be missing. So we see this one mentions speech language therapy and autism. This one just mentions autism. Sometimes your keyword will show up in the subjects or something so close where you're like, oh, this will still work even though it doesn't flat out say speech language therapy. Another thing that I want to point out is that these all have request through interlibrary loan. If we scroll down, we'll see that some articles have PDF full text. So if you see an article that doesn't have a PDF full text, that does not mean that you have access to it. It just means that you are going to have to request this particular title through a process called interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan is a wonderful resource for students because it gives you access to every article that's ever been published, and no matter who owns that article, we will be able to get it from another library and email it to you digitally. So if this title interests you, but we don't have the PDF full text, all you have to do is click on this request through interlibrary loan link. And since I logged in earlier so I could get full access from off campus, it already knows it's me, and it just fills in all the information for that article. And all I have to do is come down here and click submit request. So we do like to say to allow at least 3 business days. So we just have to wait for that other library to fill the request. So we like to say to give it a few days. Sometimes it happens that very same day you put the request in. Sometimes it does take up to 3 days. So it's always best to start your research early enough so that you can get all your articles through interlibrary loan if you need to. So I'm going to go back to our results here. If we scroll down here, we can see that we are getting a mixture of ebooks in here, but we know we need academic peer-reviewed articles. So that's when we can come up here to this limit to, and actually just limit to peer-reviewed. So that's going to go ahead and update automatically, and that's going to get rid of a lot of our results that are not peer-reviewed articles from academic journals. So now we're down to a little over 3,000 results. And another trick that you can do is you can actually click this full text. So let's say you don't have enough time to request through interlibrary loan. You could click on this full text and it'll get rid of everything that's requested through interlibrary loan and only show you the things that are PDF full text. Well, this is nice to be able to access information right away where you don't have to wait. It will eliminate what are potentially a lot of really wonderful articles just because we don't have the PDF full text. So be mindful of doing that full text. But if you know you're on a time crunch, sometimes it's just easier to get rid of those requests through interlibrary loans. But I do highly recommend leaving enough time to where these can still be a good option for you. So just be mindful of using that full text, but that is what it'll do, is it'll show you only the things that have the PDF full text attached. The other thing we can do right here is we can change our publication date. So right now we're searching 1959 to 2020. So sometimes you do want some historical information, or you do want to compare new information to old information. So sometimes having older articles is not a bad idea. But if you know for a specific assignment that you need newer articles, you can go ahead and change this. I like to do 2015 to 2020, and I'm just going to press enter. So that's going to automatically update the search for us. So now we're left with articles that talk about speech language therapy and autism that are from academic journals that were published between 2015 and 2019. So now we have 1,321 articles to go through, and this will be a mixture of options to request their interlibrary loan, but also options with a PDF full text. So since we already talked about how to request their interlibrary loan, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you can do with articles that have PDF full texts. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the title link here, and that will take us to a page called the record. So the record actually just shows us all the information we will need to know about this article to, one, make sure that this is something that we'll want to use to evaluate this resource, and to two, to actually access and save this resource. So from here we can see the authors. We can see that this has 3 authors. We can see the affiliation for the authors. If the authors give you affiliation on where they study, where they work, why they have the authority to be writing on this topic. So we know that they're Department of Speech and Hearing Sciences in Washington State University. That gives us the journal source, Academic Journal of Speech Language Pathology. I know that this one's from the August 2018 edition, and it actually even gives me the page ranges. So I know that this article is going to be 14 pages before we even dive into it. Then I get my major subjects. So just like the subject line in the results, this is going to be very similar. So I know it's going to talk about therapy for autistic disorder. That's pretty much exactly what I researched. So this article probably will be really helpful for me. It gives me my minor subjects, so things that it will talk about that maybe aren't main ideas, but are definitely going to play a role in the article. And then underneath that, I have my abstract. So this is going to be a short little introduction to the article itself. So it's always a good idea to read the abstract. So we can go up to the top, and over here on the left side of the screen, we can click PDF full text. I believe that this is the best way to guarantee access to this information. So we can open up the article. We have the whole thing here As I scroll through, we can see it from start to finish. So then what you'd want to do is you would just want to download this to the device you're currently using, or if you're on an iPad, you can actually share and send this directly to Notability, where you can highlight and make notes and save it however you like from there. So you do have a couple options, but I personally like to just save the hard copy of this PDF because then I know I'll be able to access it later, and all the information we need to cite will be available in this PDF. So we get the title, we get the authors. Down here, we get all the other information we need to cite. So we'll have the page numbers, August 2018, volume 27. There's the page range there. I know that it comes from American Journal of Speech Language Pathology. So this pretty much puts everything you need in one little package, and then you have the PDF saved to your device. So there are other ways you can save. I believe that's the most foolproof method, but there are some other things we can do. So if we go back to the record page and we come over here to the right side, we will be brought to the tools box. So here you can do a few different things. You can email this article to yourself or to somebody else if you are working on a project together. You can type in whatever email you want here, any subject line you'd like the email to have, and then any comments you want attached to this. If it has a PDF, it'll attach it to the email, and it will actually even want to try and cite it for you. So you can even send the citation, and it has all the styles, anything you might ever need. So if you want to send the APA citation, you totally can. And then when you press send, this just gets sent to your inbox from this email address, and you have everything at your fingertips in your email. So this is another great option. This button here, just under the envelope for cite, gives you the citation. So I mentioned that the email will send the citation, but I actually wanted to bring this up because the citations are actually often incorrect. So these are just computer generated. We have no control over these citations. So it's always a really good idea to double, triple check. It's nice you can just copy and paste this on your Works Cited page, but then I would definitely check the formatting, because looking at this APA one right now, I already am seeing some mistakes. So we know that in APA, we don't capitalize every letter of the title, but here they are doing that. So we definitely would want to go in and fix these up, but it's the information in the right order. It's usually just not formatted correctly. So that is my warning about using these computer generated citations. They're really helpful, but definitely make sure you triple check them before submitting any assignments. The last thing I want to show you on this page here is going to be this permalink. So it's at the very bottom of the tools box. And what it does is it pops a new URL just above the title here. So this URL is going to work on or off campus for as long as you have access to this link. So if you use the link at the top of the browser, it's really long, very confusing, and it will not work again. The second you copy and paste it over and you click on it, it will give you an error message. So you definitely want to make sure that you find the permalink. So sometimes you need a URL for a citation. This is the link you will want to use. If you're a person who likes to save links instead of downloading the articles, then definitely make sure you save the permalink, because if you save the link in the browser, you will not be able to get back to this page later. So it's always a good idea to save the permalink, but also copy and paste the title, the authors, any identifying information you can use to find this article back if you don't download the PDF. So if I jump back here to the library's website, so if you do have any questions, never hesitate to use this Ask a Librarian tab on the right side of the screen. It scrolls with you, so it's always there. This brings you to our 24/7 research chat. These are professional librarians that are here to help you with all of your Maryville-specific research assignments. So never hesitate to reach out to them. Or you can come down here to Ask a Librarian, click on Help, and then this gives you all of the options to contact us. So you can schedule an appointment, you can email, you can call us. There's a lot of things you can do to reach out for help. Just know that we are here to help you no matter where you are or what you're doing. You can utilize the 24/7 research chat, or you can schedule an appointment with us. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully this gave you a nice quick tutorial on how to find articles and how to save the PDFs. But if you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out.